Hey, welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're jumping into a fantastic story about how a simple, everyday moment of frustration in a kitchen, we're talking over 100 years ago, sparked an invention that completely changed a daily ritual for, well, billions of us. You know the feeling, right? You're so ready for that first perfect cup of coffee to start your day, and instead, you get a mouthful of gritty, bitter sludge. Ugh, it is the worst. Well, guess what? This is not a new problem at all. And that housewife's name was Melitta Bentz. She was living in Dresden, Germany, and just like so many people, she was absolutely fed up with her terrible coffee. But here's the thing. Unlike pretty much everyone else, she actually decided to do something about it. All right, so to really get how brilliant her idea was, you have to understand the problem she was wrestling with every single morning. Just picture it. Back then, your only options for filtering coffee were 1. A piece of cloth that was a total pain to clean and held on to all the old, stale flavors, or 2. A metal strainer that basically let all the fine, bitter grounds slip right through into your cup. Neither one was a great choice. And the result was this murky, harsh-tasting brew. So, faced with this daily dose of disappointment, Melitta didn't head to some fancy laboratory. Nope. She went straight to her kitchen. And her tools? Just a simple pot, a nail, and, believe it or not, her son's school supplies. The solution she came up with was just beautiful in its simplicity. She took a regular old brass pot, grabbed a nail, and just hammered a few holes into the bottom. But here, right here, was the stroke of pure genius. She tore a piece of blotting paper out of her son's school notebook and placed it inside. That absorbent paper was the perfect material to let all the delicious coffee liquid through while trapping every last one of those unwanted grounds. And you know what? It worked. It worked perfectly. The coffee that dripped through was nothing short of revolutionary. It was clean, it was clear, it was incredibly smooth, totally free of all that bitterness and grit that had been plaguing coffee drinkers forever. Just like that, she had solved the problem. Now, Melitta knew she was onto something huge. She didn't just tell her neighbors about it. No, she marched right down to the Imperial Patent Office in Berlin and got a patent for her filter top device with filter paper. What a brilliant business move, right? It protected her invention and set the stage for everything that was about to happen. So with that patent in hand, she and her husband Hugo started a company right out of their apartment. And get this, their initial startup capital? A grand total of 72 German pfennigs. That's about 30 cents. An entire empire was launched for less than what you'd pay for a pack of gum. Just incredible. And from that tiny little apartment startup, an empire started to grow. An empire built on paper that would go on to redefine the coffee industry all over the world. And the growth was fast. I mean, really fast. By 1909, they're already showing off their invention at a huge trade fair. By 1911, they're winning medals for hygiene, which was a massive selling point. They even managed to survive a huge paper shortage during World War I, which really shows you how tough they were. And after the war, the demand for clean coffee just exploded. You know, what's really cool is that their commitment to making things better was there right from the start. They didn't just stick with that original flat piece of paper. In the 1930s, the company developed the cone-shaped filter that we all know today. And see those little ridges, the ribs? They weren't just for looks. They were patented because they helped the water flow through the grounds more evenly, which created a way, way better brew. Okay, let's fast forward a bit. Remember that 72 penny investment? Well, in 2022, the Melitta Group reported revenue of over 2.2 billion euros. That is an absolutely mind-blowing return on investment, all built one simple paper filter at a time. And today, the company is an absolute global powerhouse. We're talking more than 5,800 employees, with operations in over 50 countries. And the best part? After more than a century, it is still a family-owned business, guided by the same spirit as its founder. Which brings us to the last and maybe the most important piece of this whole story, how that same inventive, problem-solving mindset of Melitta Bentz is still alive and kicking in the company today. The innovation truly never stopped. They developed filters with tiny micro-perforations called flavor pores to get the best taste. They created a double crimp seal so the filters would never, ever burst on you. They even make eco-friendly filters out of bamboo now. And they've branched out into coffee beans, food wrap, you name it, all while using cutting-edge automation to keep quality high and waste low. And you know what? This obsession with quality and innovation is still paying off big time. In their home turf of Germany, their coffee market share actually grew from 11% to 12.5% in just 1 year. Think about that for a second. Over 100 years later, this company isn't just hanging on, it's actively growing its lead. And at the very heart of it all, there's this company philosophy. It's not just about selling stuff, it's about making a real positive contribution. And that ties right back to Melitta Bentz herself, doesn't it? A woman who just wanted to make her own life and her morning coffee a little bit better. So the next time you brew a cup of coffee, just take a second to think of Melitta Bentz. Her story is the ultimate proof that a truly world-changing idea doesn't always need a high-tech lab. Sometimes it's born from a simple frustration, a kitchen pot, and a scrap of paper from a kid's notebook. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What simple kitchen table idea could you come up with?